This is our lesson, Madina Book 3, Lesson 1, and we will be learning about the Arab and making of Arab of nouns. Uh, Firstly, we will learn making of Arabs in nouns, and then we will learn making of Arabs in fail. So firstly, we will see that in making of Arab in noun, there are three types of Arab. First, it is mabni, morab, and then taqdiri. So what is mabni and morab? So firstly, we will see what is morab. Al-ism imma morabun wa imma mabniun. Imma means either, morab means changing. A noun can change three harakas. Like the three harakas are Dhamma, Fatha, and Kasra. If you see a noun, a normal noun, and it is changing its haraka, like here, kitabun. If we take kitabun, in normal marfu position, it is kitabun. It can be kitabin, or it can be kitaban. Okay, so if you can see a visible haraka over the last letter of a noun, then it means that it is its original haraka. Like you can see with your own eyes the dhamma or the kasra or the fatha over the last letter. So this noun which can change haraka are called morab. In Arabic, the definition is al-morabu ma taghayyara akhiruhu, means that changes its haraka on the last letter of a noun bisabab il-amil. What do you mean by bisabab il-amil? Means anything, or if I can say any activator that comes before a noun and changes the haraka. For example, if a noun comes, if a harf jar comes before a noun like this, then it changes the haraka to kasratain. And if I say ra'aytu kitaban, so whatever that comes before noun that makes a change on the last letter of the noun to the harakas, it makes changes to the harakas, it's known as amil. So in this case, in marfu case, what is the amil? In this case, it's ja'a, the fail ja'a. It has come, that's why the noun al-mudarrisu is having a dhamma on the last letter, because we know that a noun that falls under the position of file is always in marfu case. So always remember there are certain formulas for jumla ismiya. Jumla ismiya, I follow certain formulas like mubtada plus khabar. Always remember in Jumla Ismiya, it's a formula Mubtada plus Khabar. If you have a Mubtada and a Khabar, that means your sentence is complete. And Sifa comes afterwards, which it may or may not come in a complete Jumla Ismiya. Likewise, for Jumla Failure, what happens? There is a certain formula we follow. Fail plus fa'il. If you have a fail and a file, that means that your sentence in Jumla failure is complete. Then comes maful bihi, which is extra. Okay. So if we put this formula here, fail and file, that means file is in marfu case, it gets a dam. And this is a complete Jumla failure. Now, sa'altu al-mudarrisa. So if we keep the formula fail, sa'al, to damir file, and mudarrisa, it's in the position of maful bi. That's why it has a fatha over here. And we know that a noun falling under the position of maful bi gets a fatha. Sallamtu fail file ala harf jar al mudarrisi. What is the amil here? Harf jar. So because of this harf jar, mudarris is getting a kasra. Now we will see what is asma'ul mabniya. Wal mabni ma la taghayyar, that don't change akhiruhu, its last letter does not change the harakas of a noun. Bisabab al-amil, that means bisabab al-amil means because of the coming of the amil, the activator. Here Ja'a, fail has come, but Hawlai Ismail Ishara falls under the place of file. So file gets a Dhamma, but here this Ismail Ishara is built on Kasra, that means it will not change its Haraka to any Dhamma, Fatha or Kasra. This Hawlai Ismail Ishara is built on Kasra. In any position, it will have a Kasra always. So here in Ja'a Hawlai, Hawlai is in the position of file, Marfu or the rough case. Sa'altu haulai. Similarly, we will see Sa'al fail to damir file and haulai falls under the position of maful bihi nasb case. So it will not have a fatha because it's built, it is mabni on kasra. Likewise here, the activator or the amil ala harf jar has come, but this amil has not made this hawlai ismal ishara to get a kasra, but itself it is a structure that is built mabni on kasra. Okay, it falls under the position of jar case, is majroor. Now we will see what is Mu'arab and Mabni Minal Asma. So here are some cases, categories that falls under Asma'ul Mabniya. Al Asma kulluha mu'arabatun. Any noun, as I said here, kitab, kitab, if you see kitabun, kitabin, kitaban, they are all changing. Okay, ma ada al fi'at al atiya. Now we will see some categories at the mile. For example, huwa, hum, anta, antum, ana. These are all damir munfasil, but last two we see that these are damir muttasil. Ittasalat bil fail. Ittasalat bil fail means it is joined with fail. So here we see two damir is joined with zahaba and qalu, waw al jama is joined with qala, but they are damir muttasil, but they are also damir and they don't change their form. Either it is munfasil or they are muttasil, they don't change their form. And always these damirs are in rough case because they fall under the position of file. In this case, zahabtu, if you put this formula fail and file, you see zahab fail and ta damir is under the position of file. Okay, that's why these damir are all under rough cases. If we see ra'aytu, ra'aytuhu, so you put the formula fail, file and maful bihi. Ra'ay fail, to damir is under the position of file and who is under the position of mafulun bihi. If I put this ra'ay, ra'ay, okay, so this ra'ay is under the position of fail, to damir is under the position of file and who is under the position of maful bihi. So what happens here? File and maful bihi both has come in damir in as a damir. Both has come as a damir. File and maful bihi has come as damir. And you see this ra'aytuhu is in itself is a full complete sentence. It means ra'aytuhu means I saw it. Okay, to is mean I saw it. Okay. Now kitabuhu. we know that any damir that is joined with a noun, it falls under the position of mudaf ilahi. Any damir joined with a noun is in the position of mudaf ilahi, and we know that mudaf ilahi falls under the position of jar. So these damirs like joined with kitab, kitabuhu means his book, or daftaruha means her notebook, or ismuka means your name, or alayha is to her or to him, alayhi, or lana for us. All these damir that is joined with a noun is known as in the position of mudaf ilahi jar case. Here it is joined with harf jar, then it falls under the position of ism majroor, that this position is also in jar case. Now we will see asmaul ishara, misl, example haza, hazihi, zalika, ulaika. All these ismal ishara, they are mabni. We see in case of haza, if we do the i'rab, we say ismal ishara mabniyun ala sukun. Likewise, hazihi, we say ism al-ishara mabniyun alal kasr. So what is the last letter? Last letter is ha. Now this ha is having a kasra, so we will say it is built on mabniyun alal kasr. Here what is the last letter? Last letter is the long vowel sukun, a long vowel alif. Alif is always we assume that the long vowel is having a sukoon. That's why in Arab, when we do the Arab of hada, we say ismal ishara mabniun ala sukoon, because this long vowel, we assume that this long vowel has a sukoon over it. Likewise, zalika. Okay, so now I would like to explain here that zalika, in zalika, za and lam are the actual letters, original letters. Ka is actually shows you damir or kaf al-ba'id. This ka is known as kaf al-ba'id. That means this shows that something you are pointing or something you are saying about which is in a far distance. So that's why this kaf is called kaf lil ba'id. Okay, so this ismal ishara zalika is known for something that you're pointing far away. Okay, so that's why the and lam is the original letter. So lam is having a kasra, the lika. So it's we will say that this ismal ishara is built on kasra. Okay, we will say ismal ishara mabniyun alal kasr. Ulaika, same ulaika here. Ula, ula, there's a small alif sagira and a hamza here. So this is the original letters of ulaika. Likewise, kaf is known for kaf lil baid, showing something you are saying for far away distance. So here also we will say ismal ishara lil baid mabni alal kasr, because this hamza is having a kasr, except hadani and hatani, which are for duals. If you are pointing for dual for two things, male hadani and for female hatani, so they, except for dual asmal ishara, they will change their form because they shows duality. So hadani in marfu case, because we can see an alif here, this alif, this letter shows that it is in marfu case. And in mansub, what will be? In mansub, it will be hadaini with a ya and nun, hadaini. Likewise, hataini. Okay, hataini. Okay, so this is for feminine. Hatani is in marfu case and hataini in mansub case. Okay, they are moraban, they are changing because they show duality. Asmaul Mausula, مثل الذي التي الذين, they are also mabni, built on kasra. And likewise alladhani, allatani, they show duality. They are for two things, so they will change. They are mu'rab. Ladhani becomes ladhaini, just like hadaini, and allatani becomes allataini, just like hadaini. And ismal istifham, also known as questioning tools, man, aina, ma, mata, and kaifa, they don't change. They don't change their harakas or their structure. They are all made mabni. Ba'd al-zuruf means some zuruf, means some adverbs or um, uh, that shows time or place. Here, for example, they have given either. Iza is adverb of time, that means when. Al-an is also adverb of time, that means now. Haythu means wherever, whenever. It's also an adverb for time. Also adverb for time, means yesterday. Asma'ul Afal. What do you mean by Asma'ul Afal? Asma'ul Afal means, for example, Ameen. Ameen is a form of, this Ameen word looks like a fail, but it is not a fail. That's why they are called Asmaul Afal. They look like fail, but they are not fail. They are one structure and they cannot change to past or future like in Amin. Amin is a form of derived from fail amr. Okay, it means answer. When we ask something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or we make dua to him, what we say in the end, we say Amin. That means answer. So this is a type of command, answer, and it has been derived from command verb, but it is not a fail. It is a noun. It looks like a fail, but it is a noun. So in this case, Amin cannot change to past, cannot change to mudare or present tense. Uffin means, if you remember the hadith saying that you cannot say even uff to your parents, even if you are getting irritated or something, you cannot say uff to your parents. So this uff comes from fail mudare, but it is not a fail, it's a noun. It looks like fail mudare, but it's not. It's a noun, and it cannot change its structure from to past or amr, but it will remain in present. But it is not a fail, it has been derived from present fail, it's a noun. Ahin means when you are pain and you say ah, that is the word ahin, and it is also a fail mudar, derived from fail mudar, but it's a noun. Al-Adad Murakkab. What do you know by Adad Murakkab? Adad Murakkab means that Adad means plural of Adad. Adad means number. Murakkab means when two nouns come together and joins and becomes a one word or a compound word. That is called Murakkab. So in Adad Murakkab means that two numbers has come together and made one compound word for a particular number. So I would like to say, like in English we say 11, 12, 13, 14, or in Urdu or any other language we have names for these numbers. But in Arabic we say 10 and 1, 10 and 2, 10 and 3, likewise till 19. So this rule is from 11 to 19. So when we say ahada ashara, that means 10 and 1. So what happened? Why they have fatha fatha fatha? I would like to explain. In this there are certain rules for these numbers from 11 to 19. If I say ahada ashara, what happens here? They have a fatha on the last letter, and both have a fatha. Now, before it was ahada wa ashara. As I told you, Arabic numbers, they are like 10 and 1, 10 and 2. Before it was ahada wa ashara. Now, what happened here? The waw in between has been taken out. The waw has been taken out, and now it's only ahada ashara. The moment the waw was taken out, what happened? The number ahada ashara became mabni on what? Became mabni on fatha. The moment waw was taken out, both the number names became mabni on fatha. And now, if you put this number in any position in a sentence, the fatha is not going to change. Now they are built mabni on fatha. For example, if I say ja'a, ja'a ahada ashara taliban. Okay, Taliban is Tamiz. Okay, Taliban is Tamiz. What happened? Ja'a ashara, or this is fail. If I put the formula fail plus file, so ahada ashara falls under the position of file. So it should get a dhamma over here, but no, it is in the position of file, but they are built on fatha, mabni on fatha. So they will throughout in all the position, they will maintain the haraka fatha throughout. They will not change the haraka. The haraka will be on fatha, mabni on fatha in any position. So here it is in the position of file, but still it is having a fatha on both the names. If I say رأيت رأيت أحد عشر طالبا, what happens in this case? Fail plus fa'il and maful bihi. Plus maful bihi. Now this ahada ashara falls under the position of maful bihi. So so in Arab you will think that okay, I would say yes, fatha zahira. No, they are built on fatha. They will be muqaddara. Okay, they will be in assumed position, muqaddara fatha. But since it is built on fatha, it will be on mansoob maful bihi position. Okay, but in Arab you are going to say it is in uh, mansoob position, fatha muqaddara. Okay, now if I say ra'aytu, no, if I say sallamtu, sallamtu ala. Now there is a amil harf jar which makes this number into majroor position. Ahada ashara. What happens? Still it is mabni on fatha. So this number falls under majroor position. Is majroor. It's is majroor. So what happens? It should have a kasra, but no, here it's still having, it's maintaining its fatha, it's a fatha here because it's mabni on fatha. So in majroor position also it will have a fatha, but the position will be in majroor case. In Arab you will say it's in majroor. So these are all adat murakkab because they are made up of two number names, and they have become mabni on fatha because the waw has been taken out from the between. What happens? These are all mabni, but except this number juz awwal min al ithna al ashar. Ithna ashara means 12. This is morab. Why is this morab? Because it shows duality. In case of marfu, it will be ithna ashara. Okay, the waw has been taken out, so it will be here also waw has been taken out. Now if you remember it, the number name of 2 is ithnan. Why is it written as ithna? Because when it became mabni on these two number, the noon has been taken out. Okay, and in mansoob it will be ithnai with a ya. Okay, the noon has been taken out with when it was made with the number ashara. Ithnai ashara, ithna ashara. This is morab. Okay, it will change in mansoob and majroor as ithnai, and marfu it will remain as ithna with alif showing the duality, alif of duality and ya for duality. Now, if I say there are certain examples here, ra'aytu ithnay ashara taliban. So ra'aytu fail file, ithnay falls under mansub bihi position, maful bihi position. Haza ta'ami li ithnay ashara taliban. This harf jar amil has made it into majroor position, ithnay ashara. Now, alamatul i'rab al-asliya wa far'iyya. What is alama asliya and far'iyya? Alama asliya and far'iyya means, asliya means those alama, those signs that you see clearly with your own eyes. As I said, kitabun, kitabun. You can see a clear dhamma over ba. Kitaban, okay, you see a clear fathatan or over a ba, and kitabin, you see a clear kasratan with your own eyes. These are original harakas. These are called alama asliya, that you can see with your own eyes on the last letter of a noun. For example, dhamma, fatha and kasra here. And there are other examples. Hunaka, there are alamat, signs. Ukhra means another. Fa'iya, they are called other than the asliya, original harakas. How will you recognize a noun is in marfu mansub position? These signs are called fariya, that you can see that this noun, other than the original harakas, you can make out that these nouns are marfu, mansub, majroor. They are called fariya. Now there are certain categories, we will talk about it now. First is jama muannas salim. You know the rule for jama muannas. If we say muslimat, okay, if it is in marfu case, what will it be? Muslimatun. You can see a dhamma, and in mansub majroor, what will you see? Muslimatin for mansub and majroor case. For both, you will see a kasratain. Jama muannas salim will not show a fatha in mansub case, but a kasra. So that's why it falls under far'iyya, jama muannas salim. Okay. And mamnu min as-sarf means those noun which cannot have a kasra, or those nouns which cannot have a tanween, only a single dhamma or a single fatha. For example, izhab ila fir'aun. Now the name Fir'aun is mamnu min as-sarf. Why? Because Fir'aun cannot have a double. Firaunun, you cannot say Firaunun. You can only put a single dhamma over here. It cannot have a tanween, or it cannot have a kasra. In case of mansub, it will have a fatha. Okay, Firaunu becomes Firauna in mansub case. So these nouns, for example, Ibrahim, Ibrahim. Okay, it cannot have a Ibrahimun. You cannot say Ibrahimun. It will have a single dhamma or a fatha. In case of mansub majroor, it cannot have a kasra. No, it cannot have a kasra. And Asma'ul Khamsa, as we know, these are all ab, akh, ham, fu, and dhu. So when it is all these Asma'ul Khamsa, when it is in idafa construction, here it is joined with damir kaf. Okay, damir kaf for ka. Abuka means your father, your brother, your in-laws, your mouth. Okay, dhu means has. Okay, and fu means fam, hamu means in-laws. Abu is in the position of mudaf ilahi. So if it's in marfu, if I say Ja'a abuka, that means fail and file. So Abu falls under the position of file. It is in marfu case. That's why it shows that is in marfu case. How do you know? By dhamma? No. By the letter waw. Now these nouns are considered to show their positions by letters. and not by harakas, because they fall under the category of faria, those nouns which shows their position by some other things, by letters or by some other things. So these nouns fall under faria cases. So Asmaul Khamsa shows their position by letters. In case of Marfu, it shows by Waw. In case of Nasb, it shows its position by Alif. Arafa Abaka. I know your father. So here it's in Mansub case and it is in Idafa construction. Only and unless it is in Idafa construction, then only they will show their position by letters. So here by Alif, it has shown its position as Nasb. In Jar, it will show its position by Ya Abika. Okay, now Tu'arabu al-Asma'ul Khams. That means we will do the Arab of Asma'ul Khamsa bihazihil alamat, with these signs. إذا كانت, when it is mudafatan, means it is a mudaf, it is mudafatan ila غير ya mutakallim. That means when it is mudafatan ila ghair ya mutakallim, means when it is not joined with a ya mutakallim or it is not in an idafa construction. Okay, for example here wa illa ribat bi alamatul asliya. So when it is not in idafa construction and when it is not joined with ya mutakallim, damir ya mutakallim, then it is oribat, means then it is its Arab is done with alamat asliya. Alamat asliya means what? The original signs, dhamma, fatha and kasra. It will show its original sign when it is not in idafa construction or when it is not joined with ya mutakallim. For example here, li akhun. Li akhun means I have a brother. So here it is not in idafa construction or with a ya mutakallim, it's standing alone. So it shows its position by the original sign, dhamma. Sa'altu akhan, original sign, fatha. Anta ka akhin means like you are like a brother. So here it is showing its position by clear original sign kasra. Now another category is Jama Muzakkar Salim. Kullu alamat fihi fariya. Fariya, as there is an example of Mudarrisuna, we know that Jama Muannas Muzakkar Salim, how do we consider its position? How do we know it's is in Marfu or Mansub? By seeing the letter. By seeing the letter, wow, it shows that it's in Marfu position. And what about Nasb and Jar? By seeing the letter Ya, it shows it's either in Mansub or Majroor position. What about Musanna? Kullu alamat fihi fariyam. For in rough case, it shows its position by alif. The letter alif shows that it's in marfu position, and in mansub majroor, the ya shows that it's in mansub and majroor position. Now another, after mabni and mu'rab, now comes the third kind of Arab that we will do is known as Arab Taqdiri. Taqdiri means those positions when in Marfu, Mansub or Majroor, you cannot put a clear haraka over the last letter of the noun in case it has a weak letter, for example, alif makhsura or isman kus, that means, or a noun that is having a ya at the end, or a mudaf ila ya mutakallim, or any noun that is attached with ya damir ya mutakallim. So we will see in all these three cases. In taqdiri there are three cases: maqsoor, manqus and mudaf ila ya mutakallim. So we will see what is it. Al-maqsoor huwa ism murab. It's also a noun that is changing its harakas. Allazi akhiruhu alif lazima. Okay, so these nouns are those nouns which has an alif. Alif means the letter alif maksura. It is in the shape of a ya without a dot. So this letter is known as alif maksura. So we will pronounce it as a, not ya. So any noun having an alif maksura like Musa or Isa, what happens? We say Musa, Isa. We don't prolong it. Musa or Isa. We don't prolong it. In case of Asa, what happens? Asa, we prolong the sound. Here it is a long vowel alif, but it's still a weak letter. This is also a weak letter. We cannot put a haraka over it. Here also we cannot put a haraka over it. So whenever there is an alif maksura, you will pronounce it as one count. Now those students who are in tajweed, they know that alif long vowel has two counts. So whenever we read in Quran, we prolong a sound asa, but when there is this alif maksura, we do not prolong a sound and we stop on one count. Musa, Isa. Okay, so whenever you see any noun with this alif maksura, or they say alif, you can also say alif, but it's better if you say alif maksura. There will be an alif maksura at the end. Any noun, there will be an alif maksura at the end. It's called al maksur. For example, they have given mustashfa. Al Fata, mustashfa is hospital, Al Fata is a young boy, and Asa is the stick. Here in this case, these noun are known as al-maqsoor. Why? Because at the end they have this alif maqsoora. So you can see this alif maqsoora is also known in English as shortened alif. Why shortened alif? Because it has one count. Because alif is known to have two counts, but here it is known as shortened alif because it has only one count when you pronounce it. And here it has long vowel alif. That means the sound will be prolonged. تقدره فيه علامات ثلاث. Now how will you do the era for these nouns which are مقصور? So here we will say تقول. There is an example here, a sentence. In this one sentence, all the examples are there. For alif مقصور also and with long vowel alif also. Now تقول قتل الفتى means the boy, young boy killed الأفعى, the snake, بالعصا, with the stick. تقول في إعراب هذه الكلمات. How will you do the إعراب for all these three nouns? الفتى فاعل, if you put the form فعل فاعل مفعول به, and this is حرف جر and اسم مجرور. In short, we can say جار مجرور. فاعل مرفوع. الفتى is فاعل. Which position فاعل falls? مرفوع. What is the علامة? علامة رفعه. What is the alama you call? Dammatun muqaddara. Why muqaddara? Because all these weak letters will not tolerate haraka over it. Okay. Now this weak letter is such a letter that it cannot carry haraka in any position. In all three positions, it cannot take any haraka. It will always be muqaddara, assumed, estimated. الأفعى مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه فتحة مقدرة. العصا in short you can say جار مجرور علامة جره كسرة مقدرة. What is منقوص? Now, likewise, those nouns which have an alif maksura, they are called ism maksur. That's how this. Similarly, that's how these nouns which have ya at the end, like al-qadi. Okay. Now, these nouns always come with a ya at the end, like this. Qadi, al-madi. Okay, they will always have a ya at the end, a ya with a dot. So there is a small rule for all these nouns when it is with marifa. When it is marifa or it has an al before it, or you can say lam at-tarif. It is also known as lam. The al is also known as lam at-tarif, because whenever this comes, it makes the noun in definite position. It makes the noun marifa. So when it has an al, it has a ya. It can come with a ya, and when the ya comes, the preceding letter has a kasra. Okay, so when this noun becomes nakira, for example, it becomes a nakira, qadin, what happens here? What happens here? The ya is deleted and it becomes nakira, and this, the last letter gets, second last letter gets a kasra then. So in nakira, it cannot, never, all these nouns, it can never come with a ya. You cannot say it as qadi with a ya. No, it's totally wrong. It cannot come with a ya in nakira position. In marifa, yes, it can come. In marifa position, yes, it can come with a ya. Okay, so when we do these Arab for ism manqus, what happens? مكسور قبلها هو اسم المعرب. They are changing الذي آخره ياء لازما. That means the last letter ya comes. Okay, always you will see a last letter, but when they are marifa only. Okay, so مكسور Ma qablaha means the second last letter before the ya has a kasra over here. Maksurun ma qablaha means before the ya, the second last letter is having a kasra. Okay. Al-wadi, al-ma'ani, all these nouns are called ism manqus. Now, how will you make i'rab for these nouns? تقدر فيه الضم والكسر. Means the dhamma and kasra are the muqaddar. They are assumed. Okay, for marfu and majroor position, they are assumed. And tadharu fihi al fatha. Only in mansoob case it will show a clear fatha sign. Means if I say that al qadi, for example here, sa'ala al qadi, for example, sa'ala al qadi al muhamiya an al jani. Jani means criminal. So here sa'ala is verb, al qadi is in file position, so it should get a dhamma here, but no, here dhamma is always muqaddara in case of ism manqus. So if I say ja al qadi, okay, al qadi, so here it will remain in this position. It cannot have a dhamma over it, even though it is in a file position. Okay, so here we will assume that yes, there is a dhamma. If I say ra'aytu al qadi, what happens in mansoob case? It will show clearly the fatha over the ya. This fatha will be visible. Okay, and this happens only in mansoob case. Only in mansoob case. What happens when it is in majroor? Sallamtu ala al qadi. What happens? Still it's in, it has a kasra. But if you think like, yes, I can see a kasra over here, then yes, it is in majroor case. No, and majroor case, and yes, I can say kasra zahira. No, in this case also, even though you see a kasra here because of this harf jar, even though you see a kasra, but in Arab you cannot say kasra zahira. Here you will always say kasra muqaddara, tuqaddiru fihi dhamma wa kasra. You will always assume dhamma and kasra in marfu and majroor position. So here you will say in Arab as muqaddara. Okay. Al-jani jar majroor alamatu jarrihi kasra muqaddara. Okay. Now, وقد يكون المنقوص محذوف الياء. Now they are explaining the ism manqus without a ya in nakira form, that I have explained it before. Uh, قد يكون المنقوص محذوف الياء means with a deleted ya. محذوف means a deleted ya. محذوف word comes from the fail حذف. حذف means to get deleted or to get a kind deleted. Okay, I can say deleted. So the thing which is deleted is called mahzoof. So here ya is deleted. For example, dhahaba qadin. Here you see qadin is in nakira form. Okay, and why it is having a kasratain? You know now, because ya is deleted, and this kasratain is representative of ya, showing that yes, ya has been deleted from this noun. Okay, ila muhamin. تقول في إعراب هاتين كلمتين. How will you do the إعراب for these two nouns? هاتين كلمتين means these two nouns. قاد فاعل مرفوع لامة رفع ضمة مقدرة على. Where is ضمة مقدرة? Not on ضاد. Not on ضاد. Where should be ضمة مقدرة? On the ya that has been deleted. على يا المحذوفة. Dhamma muqaddara was assumed on the ya that was deleted. Okay. Muhammad jar majroor alama jarril kasra muqaddara. Okay. Where was kasra muqaddara assumed? Kasra was assumed on the ya that has been deleted. Okay. Ala ya mahzufa. Al-mudaf ila ya mutakallim. Now, those nouns that are attached with ya mutakallim. Those nouns that are attached with ya mutakallim. For example, kitabi means my book. Okay. Now, this kitab is attached with ya mutakallim. Okay. So, what happens? In this case, they have taken example of zamili. Zamili means friend or colleagues. Now, zamil is a noun attached with ya mutakallim. Now, this lam, the last letter, zamili. This last letter is forced to take a kasra because of the ya mutakallim. When it is forced to take a kasra with the ya mutakallim, now this last letter cannot have any other haraka. Dhamma or fatha it cannot take because it has already taken a kasra with the ya mutakallim. So in marfu and mansub case, it will be muqaddara. We'll see the example. تقدر فيه علامات الثلاث. Now for example, دعا جدي. Da'a Jaddi means my grandfather called or invited Ustazi, my teacher, Ma Zumala'i. This is the plural form of Zamili. Zumala'i, my friends. So, how do we do the Arab? Jaddi fa'ilun marfun walamatu raf'ihi ad-damma muqaddara, because it's joined with ya mutakallim. It cannot have a damma. Though it is in the file position. Ustazi cannot have a fatha because it is in maful position, and since it is attached with ya mutakallim, it cannot have a clear fatha. So, maful bihi mansub, alamatu nazbihi al-fathatu muqaddaratu. Zumalai also mudaf ilahi majroor alama jarril kasra muqaddara. Even though you see a kasra here, you cannot say kasra zahira. You will have to say kasra muqaddara. This kasra is due to ya mutakallim and not due to this harf jar ma. Okay. So here you will say kasra muqaddara. Now there are tables, so you can go through all these tables. It's very easy and they show all the positions in one table. Now there are certain exercises. You may do your exercises on your own, but some of the answers I may discuss with you. عين مورب ومبني فيما يأتي. Kitab, is it morab or mabni? It is a normal noun. Yes, it can change haraka. It is morab. Haza falls under which category? Far'iyya. no, I think it falls under mabni. They are mabni, not fariya, mabni, because it's ismal ishara. They are built on one form, one structure. They cannot change, so they are mabni. Hamid, yes, it's an Arabic name. It can change the haraka. Masajid, it's mamnu min as-sarf. It cannot change because it cannot have a kasra, only fatha and dhamma. So it's not uh, it's mu'rab. And huwa is ismal ishara. It's damir. So it's mabni. Ana mabni. Sayyaratun mu'rab. Allazi mabni. Ams is mabni. And al-jamia is mu'rab. Musliman is mu'rab. Muslimat mu'rab. Hadani is mu'rab. Okay. Mm. Okay, Jamia, Musliman, Muslimat, Hadani, they are all Morab. Alan is Mabni, Allatan, Morab, Man, Mabni, Allah, Lafzul Jalala is Morab, Arbatu Ashara. What is this Arbata Ashara? It's, remember, it's a Adad Murakkab, built Mabni on Fatha because Waw has been taken out. So they are Mabni throughout. Arbata Arba'atu is this is a single name of a number. So this is Morab. Amin, this is Mabni. It's from a small afal. Ma alamat al-i'rab al-asliya fi ism. What are the i'rab asliya fil ism? It's fatha, dhamma and kasra that you see on the noun. What will you write? If I say kitabun, what will you say? What is the i'rab? Hadha kitabun. Hada kitabun. What will you say? It's in mubtada and khabar. So what will be the i'rab? You will say kitabun marfuun walam kitabun khabar marfuun walamatu raf'ihi ad-dammatu ad-dhahiratu, because you can see the dhamma over it clearly with your own eyes. So you have to stress, you have to say ad-dhahira because you can see with your own eyes. Because in Arabic Arab, some in some places, in some cases, you don't put haraka. Some are estimated, assumed. So you need to say in Arab, yes, it is zahira, or yes, it is muqaddara. So here you will say al-zahira, dammatu al-zahira. And ma alamat i'rab al-far'iyya fi. Now in these cases asmaul khams, you will say marfuun, marfuun alamatu raf'ihi, like abuka. What will you say? Abuka, you say marfuun walamatu marfuun walamatu. So what will you say? Here in this small khamsa, you will say مرفوع بالواو لأنه من الأسماء الخمسة, or منصوب بالألف لأنه من الأفعال الخمسة, or you will say مجرور بالياء لأنه من الأفعال الخمسة. Sorry, أسماء الخمسة. وجمع جمع مذكر سالم. What will you say? جمع مذكر سالم مرفوع بالواو لأنه من جمع مذكر سالم. Then if I say مسلمون, مسلمون, what will you say? It will be مرفوع مرفوع بالواو لأنه من جمع مذكر سالم. Then in منصوب and مجرور case, we say منصوب or مجرور بالياء. Okay, لأنه من جمع مذكر سالم. والمثنى, same way you will say مرفوع بالألف لأنه مثنى. or مرفوع بالياء لأنه مثنى. okay. منصوب और مجرور بالياء. ما علامة الجر في ممنوع من الصرف؟ ما علامة جر ممنوع من الصرف؟ In ممنوع من الصرف, what do you do? Do you show in مجرور case a kasra? No, you don't say, show a kasra. Only show on fatha. You will show only fatha. For example, فرعون. فرعون. So this noon will only have a dhamma or a fatha, no kasra. So what is the alama for mamnu min as-sarf? Is dhamma and fatha, no kasra. In jar you will show fatha and then you will say لأنه من مجرور بالفتح لأنه. Now you have to explain why it is مجرور بالفتح. So you have to say مجرور بالفتح لأنه من الممنوع من الصرف or لأنه غير منصرف. You can also say لأنه غير منصرف. ما علامة نصب في جمع مؤنث سالم? In nasb position, I told you, if you remember, it cannot show fatha. It cannot take a fatha in mansoob. It only shows a kasra. Muslimatin. Okay, so how will you do Arab? Muslimatin, you will say mansubun bil kasra لأنه من الجمع مؤنث سالم من جمع مؤنث سالم. Okay. هاتي مثالا للمنقوص واجعله في ثلاث جمل ألا أن يكونوا مرفوعا في أولى منصوبا بثانية مجرورا في الثلاثة. You have to make three sentences, one in marfu case, one in mansub and one in majroor case using اسم منقوص مقصور للمقصور. And here you have to make three sentences using the noun ism manqus, one in marfu, one in mansub and one in majroor. Same, you have to use ism manqus here, mahzuf al-ya, in which you don't have a ya. That means ism manqus as nakira. And you have to make sentence one in marfu, one in mansub and one in majroor case. And hati misal lil mudaf ila ya mutakallim. And here also you have to make three sentences, one in marfu, mansub and majroor with what? A noun attached with ya mutakallim. Now Arab ma tahtahu khat. What is the Arab? يحب الله المتقين. يحب is فعل مضارع, الله لفظ الجلالة فاعل, المتقين مفعول به. And what is a muttaqin in form of? Do you put a clear fatha over here? Do you recognize this position with fatha? No, it falls in faria position. Why? Because the mansub position is shown by the letter ya, and this muttaqin is from Jama Muzakkar Salim. Now, خلق الله السماوات والأرض. Now you see خلق is fail, Allah لفظ الجلالة فاعل, samawat is Jama Muannas Salim, so it will not show the haraka by fatha. It will show its mansub position by kasra. So we'll do the Arab as mansubun bil kasra li'annahu min Jama Muannas Salim. Okay. What about Ard? Arda is a normal noun and it will have a fatha clearly by showing a fatha over it. Now this will have alamat asliya because you can put a fatha zahira over it. And this alamat is from far'iyya, from samawat. So what will you do the Arab for earth? Matuf, because it's after waw. Matuf بالفتحة ظاهرة. Okay. Iftah faka. Iftah means open. Faka means your mouth. So this is from Asmaul Khamsa. So it shows its mansoob position by letters. By alif, you see it's in mansub position. So it's from Fariya case. So what will be the i'rab? Ifta is command, and then after command comes the maf'ulun bihi, and so this is in mansub position. You will say mansubun bil alif li'annahu min al af'alul khamsa. Aina sayyaratu abika. Now this falul khamsa is in mudaf ilay position. That's why it shows as majroor position by ya, abika. So it will be majroorun bil ya liannahu min asma'ul khams. Hafaztu fail fa'il suratain. Now this is in mansub position with a showing with a ya, and this is also from Far'iyya category. Arafu Qadi Makkata. Arafu means I know Qadi. Uh, I know Qadi Makkata means it's in now in this case what happens, up till now I told you that is manqus cannot come with a ya. If it does not have an al, it cannot come with a ya. Only when it is marifa, it can come with a ya. This is isman kus qadi. Then it does not have an al. Why it came with a ya? Because qadi is an idafa structure. Qadi makkata means qadi makkata. Qadi of means judge of Makkah. In this case, both these nouns are a bit different. Okay, this is in idafa construction. Qadi. So when you know this rule, whenever the noun is in idafa construction, it becomes marifa. Okay, and since this is a country name, it is already marifa. Okay, so this is a marifa idafa construction. And since it is marifa already, that's why it can have a ya at the end. That's why it is having a ya at the end, because it is in idafa and it is already marifa. So what will be the i'rab? Arafu qadi makkata means I know the judge of Makkah. So arafu is fail. Qadi arafu fail. Where is file? File is damir mustatir. Taqdiruhu ana. Arafu, I know. Qadi falls under the position of mansub. So how is it showing here? With a clear fatha. You remember ism manqus will show a clear fatha sign in case of mansub only, not in marfu and not in majroor. They cannot show dhamma and kasra, only fatha. So here it will have a clear fatha sign. Makkata is mudaf ilahi, and this is a mudaf, and it is also a maful bihi. Okay, and makkata, why it cannot have a kasra? Because this noun is from mamnu min as-sarf ghair munsarif. This country name cannot have a kasra. Okay, then comes kharaja al-jurha. Jurha means the wounded. Kharaja al-jurha min al-mustashfa. So kharaja fail, al-jurha fa'il. So since it is maksur, it has an alif maksura at the end. It cannot take any three harakas, not even fatha, dhamma or kasra. So it will have a dhamma muqaddara in Arab. Min al-mustashfa jar majroor. Al-mustashfa is majroor bil kasra muqaddara. Okay. Akhaza sadiqi. Now this noun is joined with ya mutakallim. Akhaza sadiqi kitabi min haqibati. Akhaza sadiqi means sadiqi is in file position. It should have a dhamma over the qaf letter, but no, it is joined with ya mutakallim. So here dhamma muqaddara. Sadiqi file marfoon walamatu raf'ihi dhammatu muqaddaratu. Li'annahu. Now what will you say extra? Why it is having a dhamma muqaddara? Because li'annahu ittasalat bi ya mutakallim. لأنه لأنه اتصلت صلت بيا متكلم بيا ياء متكلم. اوكي متكلم. Okay. And then kitabi. Kitabi is in maful bihi position here also. Mansubun bilya lian mansubun bilya bil منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة مقدرة لأنه اتصلت بيا متكلم. Same Arab, but only you have to say وعلامة نصبه المقدرة. نصبه مقدرة لأنه اتصلت بيا متكلم. من حقيبتي, it's in مجرور position. You will also say here حقيبتي مجرور وعلامة جره الكسرة المقدرة لأنه اتصلت بيا متكلم. اشتريت فاعل هذا ب15 ريال. Now there is a حرف جر B. So what is the position of 15? 15, number 15. It will be in اسم مجرور. It is اسم مجرور. It should have a kasra, but you know now it is mabni built on fatha. So you will say اسم مجرور وعلامة جره الكسرة مقدرة لأنه من الأعداد مركب مبني أعداد مركب مبني على الفتح. Okay. أنا محامٍ. أنا مبتدأ and محامٍ is خبر مرفوع والعلامة رفعه ضمة مقدرة. Okay. And now we come to المرفوعات من الأسماء. مرفوعات من الأسماء means the marfu cases in nouns. So what are the marfu cases we see? مبتدا وخبر. Okay. Now there are 6 positions in marfu cases. مبتدا, خبر, اسم كان is always in marfu case, khabar inna is always marfu case, file is marfu, naibul file. What is naibul file? Naibul file means the noun that comes in the position of the maful bihi, takes the position of the file. Okay, so now maful bihi is representing the file. So when it does, or when it takes the character of a file, when it takes the place of a file, it also takes its haraka. So maful bihi loses its fatha and takes the dhamma of the file. Okay, and here in this example, khulika. How will you recognize this sentence is in passive voice? By seeing the structure of the fail. Khulika. Normally this fail is khalaqa. But when you see this structure, khuliqa means it's a triliteral verb, 3-letter, and the second last letter has a kasra. The first letter has a dhamma, the second last letter has a kasra. You know that it is in passive form. Now, after the fail, what comes? Al-insanu min teen. So that means this insan was in maful bihi position before, but when it came in passive voice, what happens? This maful bihi took place of the file, and also with the file, it loses its fatha and takes the dhamma of file. Now this maful bihi is now in the place of file and it is representing file. That's why it is called naib ul file. In Arabic, a representator is called a naib. Okay, if I say my representator has gone to the assembly and he will speak about from me. Okay, he will speak instead of me. So that means he will represent me. So that is naib, the representator, naibul file is always in marfu case. Mansubat. Now there are total 13, but here in this book is 11. So we will discuss what's given in this lesson. Isminna, you know, as it is always in mansoob case. Khabar kana, yes, it is in mansoob case. Maful bihi, you know, we have up till now studied ism inna, khabar kana and maful bihi. But now we will study all these new mansoobat cases. What is it? Al maful fihi means, for example, safara abi laylan. Jalasa al mudarrisu indal mudiri. What happened here? What do you understand by the sentence Safara Abi Laylan? That means it is describing a particular time. Some action is being done in a particular time. That means it is maful fihi, means in the night. My father is traveling in, or he traveled in the night, means in that particular time. And jalasa al mudiru mudarrisu indal mudiri. Indal mudiri means he is it's not at mudir's, but means he is sitting with the principal at this moment. Okay, so that shows that particular time the teacher is sitting with the principal. Al maful li ajlihi. And maful li ajlihi is also known as maful lahu. What does it explain? Ma kharajat min al bayti khawfan min harri means ma kharajtu means I did not go out of the house min al bayti khawfan. Now this khawfan explains the reason why did you not go out of your house, because you feared from the har. Al-har means the hot temperature. The weather is very hot outside. Maybe because of the hot temperature, you did not go out of the house. So the reason that explains why you did not go, why did you do that action? So it comes in maful li ajlihi. Al-maful ma'ahu sirtu wal jabala. So wal jabala is on fatha, showing the fatha. That means this is mansub. Maful ma'ahu means to walk. Sara means to walk. Now there are two verbs, sara with a sad and sara. Okay, they sound similar, but the meaning is different. Sara means became. Okay, Sara means to walk with a scene. Okay, Sirtu means I walked alongside the mountain. Okay, so anything that goes alongside together is maful ma'ahu. Okay. Al-maful mutlaq means maful mutlaq is actually a kind, it is also a masdar. Masdar means a verbal noun showing the action that does not have any tense. Okay, in English, if I say the ing words, writing, standing, speaking, eating, they are all masdar, verbal nouns. So here maful mutlaq, this maful, now there is a big difference in maful mutlaq and maful masdar. Maful mutlaq are always nakira, like here qira'atan, qira'atan. Okay, qira'atan. It will always be in nakira form for maful mutlaq. But what about masdar? Masdar can be marifa, al-qira'atu, al-qira'atu, okay? Or it can be nakira, and it can change haraka, al-qira'atan, qira'atan, okay? It can be qira'atin, al-qira'atin, okay? It can change haraka, it can be nakira, it can be marifa. But in case of maful mutlaq, what happens? Maful mutlaq, it will always be in nakira and mansoob. It cannot change haraka. Okay. So this is the major difference in masdar and maf'ul mutlaq. So if I can say all the masdars are maf'ul mutlaq. All the masdars are maf'ul mutlaq. Okay, but all the maf'ul mutlaq cannot be masdar. Okay. يقرأ حامد قراءة جيدة means Hamid recited beautifully. Hamid recited beautifully. Al-Hal, it explains the situation, okay? Current situation. Jaddi yusalli qa'idan. Jaddi, my grandfather prayed. Qa'idan means sitting. How did you pray? Sitting. So it is explaining or describing the situation, the hal. Tamiz, you know, from 11 to 99, all the counted nouns will be in mansoob, nakira, and singular. That means it's called tamiz. So that is tamiz, and tamiz are also mansoob throughout. Like here, ana akbaru minka sinnan. Like I am much older or I am older than you in age. Mustasna. What is mustasna? Mustasna, if you remember, it's a kind of, there are certain rules for mustasna. If I say, hadara at-tullabu kulluhum illa hamidan. What does it mean? Hadara at-tullabu, fail and file. Kulluhum, all the students. If I translate this sentence, it's all the students came except Hamid. Okay, so if I say now kulluhum is badal for tullab. If I remove kulluhum, it will be okay, no Arab changes. If I put kulluhum, it will be the same. Kulluhum is badal for tullab. So to explain you in easy way, I will remove kulluhum and I will take hadara at-tullabu illa hamidan. Hadara, okay, hadara at-tullabu, okay, illa hamidan. Hamidan. Now what you see here is tullab. This tullab is before illa. Okay. Now this illa is adatul mustasna. Okay, whenever illa comes, that means it will follow the rules for mustasna. Okay, so here it is called the tool of mustasna. So what is before, what comes before illa? What comes before illa? The noun that comes before illa is called mustasna minhu. Mustasna, mustasna minhu. Okay, and what comes after illa is called what? Is called mustathna. That which comes after illa or adatul mustasna is called mustathna. Okay, that is mustasna. This mustasna, it will always be in mansoob form. Okay, always be in mansoob form, and this is called adatul mustasna. Adatul mustasna. Okay, so al munadi, you know, munadi, when we call any name, that is an idafa construction, that is Abdullah. Abdullah. Okay, in normal marfu cases, Abdullahi. But if I say, if I use a harf nida, Ya Abdullah, what will it be? Since this name is in idafa construction, it will always be in mansoob case. Ya Abdullahi. Okay, Abdullahi. Okay. So this will be in mansoob case. In majrurat. What is in majrurat? What is in majrurat? Mudaf ilahi and ism majroor. Al-Qur'anu kitabullahi. Al-Qur'anu kitabullahi. So Majrurat, Allah Lafzul Jalala is in the position of Mudaf Ilahi. So it will always be having a kasra. Al Masbuqu bihar jar. What do you mean by Al Masbuq? Means the thing that is preceding. Masbuq comes from the fail sabaqa. From sabaqa. Sabaqa. Okay, sabaqa. So masbuq means the thing which is preceding before harf jar. So the noun which is preceded by a harf jar it will always be in ism majroor position. It will have a kasra here. Tabe. What is tabe? Tabe means the follower. It comes from um, uh, taba. Okay, taba. Taba'a. It means to follow, to follow. So those which are followers like Badal or Naat, there are certain examples we'll see. At-tabi huwa ism al-mushariku. They are all ism al-mushariku lima qablahu. Means Mushariku means they follow, okay? They have similar things which they follow, okay? The nouns they follow, they share the same harakas, they share the same structure, okay? Lima qablahu, whatever that is before those nouns, they will follow. Fi Arab also, in Arab also, mutlaqan means uh, mutlaqan means join means together. Wahuwa ala arba'a anwa. There are four types. Nath. Nath means sifa, tawqid, and atf and badal. So first we will see nath. Al marfu'at. Hadara talibu. This is a question. Hamzatul istifham is a questioning tool. Hadara talibu al jadidu means did the new student come? So what is the sifa here? Al jadid. It is following this noun. So it will follow in haraka, in marifa, in definiteness, in number, and uh, in Arab. Mansub Yatlubu al-Mudiru requested. Al-Mudir requested or the principal requested at-Taliba al-Jadida. Okay, Taliba al-Jadida, this is in Mansub. So here the sifa is in Mansub form and it is following the noun in Mansub. هذا دفتر الطالب الجديد. Now here sifa is following mudaf ilayh, so it is in uh, mudaf ilayh position also. What is tawqid? Hadara at-tullab. Now, tawqid means here we are using kulluhum, means we are stressing the fact, yes, all of the students, all, every, each and every student, okay? It is stressing the fact, yes, each and every student came, okay? Kulluhum, to stress on the fact, yes, each and every student came. قال لي هذا المدير نفسه. هذا المدير, when I say yes, he said to me, this is the mudir. But when I want to say, yes, this is the mudir, this is the one whom I was talking to, or this is the one whom I was referring to, this particular mudir I was referring to, when you want to personalize it and stress, then you use these words, nafsuhu. Okay, so these are for making it extra to make an extra attention, pay an extra attention, then you use these words. So these words can come in all three forms: marfu, mansub, and majroor. Okay. Now atf that comes after harf atf is the harf atf. Okay. Now, any noun that comes after atf, it will follow the noun before the atf. For example, kharaja hamidun wa sadiquhu. Now, this noun that comes after the waw harf atf is following what was before it. Hamidun was in marfu case, that's why sadiqu will also be in marfu case. So, this will also follow in mansoob and majroor case. Al-badal, as you know, the noun that comes instead of a particular noun. For example, a najaha ahuka hashimun. Now, a najaha. Najaha means to pass or to successful. Okay. A najaha ahuka, or you can say, did your brother passed? So when ahu is present, this noun clearly shows I'm asking about your brother. So this Hashimun is an extra for this brother. If I say a najaha Hashimun, then also it gives the meaning your brother Hashim. If I say a najaha ahuka Hashimun, then also it is giving the same meaning. So this Hashim is a badal for ahu. So it will follow in Arab, in structure, in everything. Okay. So Hashim is also in marfu case because Ahu is in marfu case. A najaha hazat talibu. Now any noun that comes with ismul ishara is a badal. This is the one of the rules from badal case. Okay, any noun, marifa noun that comes with ismul ishara is in badal case, is a badal. Arafu akhaka Hashiman. I know your brother Hashim. Okay. Arafu haza taliba. Okay. Now this is badal, is in badal position. Aina ghurfatu akhika Hashimin. So this Hashim is also in majroor and it's a badal for akhi. Aina ghurfatu haza talibi. It's a badal for haza. Fil afal. Now, if you remember the lesson of mudare about the fail, there are three tenses we know: madi, mudare, and amr. So madi and amr are mabni. Which fail is morab? Only mudare is morab because madi and amr, they cannot change their structure and harakas, but mudare can change. Al-mu'rab wal-mabni min afal. Al-afal al-madi wa fail al-amr mabniyan. Both of them are mabni. Wal-fail mudare mu'rabun. Fail mudare is always changing. Illa either, except it is ittasalat bihi noon niswa. Only when it is attached with noon niswa, this is an important point. Okay, only when it is attached with noon niswa fayakunu mabniyan, in which case it is only mabni when it is attached with noon niswa, and noon niswa is a damir. Afhamu haza darsa. Okay, afhamu haza darsa. Now, fail mudare here is in marfu form. How? Because it has a clear zahir dhamma over here. You can see, and there are no adatul nasb here, no adatul jazm here. So it is in marfu case. Uridu an afhama. What is the difference between these two fail, uridu and an afhama? This uridu is in marfu case. Why? Because there is no adat here. This is simply in marfu case. But what about this? This has a fatha. It shows a clear fatha here, showing that it is in nasb case. Why? Why it changes to fatha? Because the adatul nasb has come here, and that has made this fi'l mudare to change its haraka to fatha. Lam afham hazat darsa. Why did it change to sukun in jazm? Because adatul jazm lam has come here. So we see that fi'l mudare changes in all three positions. Alamatul Arab Asliya wal Fariya. Now, in this fail also, there are Asliya harakat, that means clear Dhamma Fatha Kasra, and Far'iyya, means other than the original harakat. So, we will see here Alamat al Arab fil Mudari. Alamat al-i'rab fil mudari salas. What is that? Here alamatu raf, fatha and sukun. Now, in case of noun, we had dhamma, fatha and kasra. But in case of fail, mudari, what do we have? Dhamma, fatha and sukun. No kasra. Sukun in the case of jazm. وهناك علامات أخرى. There is another علامة. What is that? فرعية وهي في أنواع آتية من الفعل. What are those? أفعال الخمسة. What are the أفعال الخمسة? علامة الرفع فيها ثبوت النون. Those فعل مضارع which has a noon at the end. For example, if I say تفعلين, okay, if I say تفعلين, okay, there is a noon and this noon is extra. Okay, it may get deleted in some cases. Taf alina and what? Taf alani. Okay, there is an extra noon. Taf alani. Then taf aluna. Okay, taf aluna. There is noon here. Then yaf aluna. This is for a ghayab. Okay, this is for a ghayab. And yaf alani. Yaf alani. Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now here in taf alani we have taken for both male and female taf alani. Here okay, taf'alani, taf'alina, taf'alani, taf'aluna, yaf'aluna in ghaib case, taf'aluna in mukhatib case, and yaf'alani. Okay. So all these five are called afalul khamsa. They have an extra noon. So in marfu case, when they come, it shows it is in marfu case by showing with the noon, subut noon, presence of noon. When this noon is present, that means this fail mudare is in marfu form. When all these afal khamsa comes without a noon, like taf'ala, taf'ala, without a noon dropped, then what happens? Either it is in a mansoob or majroor position because the noon has been dropped. Okay. أفعال الخمسة فيها ثبوت النون وعلامة النصب والجزم حذف النون. حذف النون means deleted noons. In nasb and jazm case, the noon will be deleted. أريدون. Now this uriduna is in marfu case. Why? Because there is the presence of noon. An tazhabu. An tazhabu means there is adatun nasb. That's why the noon has been deleted. And it means uriduna. We all want that we go. It's just part of a sentence just to show you the deletion of noon. Alam tadhhabi ila mudarrisati ya Maryam. Alam tazhabi, didn't you go? It is a question. Didn't you go? And tazhabi is from this. Tazhabi is from this for feminine mukhatib. The ya mukhatiba will be there and noon, extra noon, subut noon will get dropped. Okay, extra noon will get dropped. Alam, because the adatul jazm has come before fail mudare. Alam tazhabi. Fail naqis. What is fail naqis? What do you mean by fail naqis? Naqis comes from the word naqasa. Naqasa means to miss something or something missing, and naqis is the one who is missing something, the one who misses something. Alama al-jazm fihi hasf al-akhirihi means those nouns which have a weak letter at the end, just say yad'u, it has a weak letter at the end. Yarmi, okay, meme and yeah, it has a weak letter. Then yansa, yansa, alif makhsura, okay. Now in some cases there will be alif makhsura, in some cases in fail mudare. So yad'u, when an adatul nasb is there, when adatul nasb comes an, what happens? The wow gets deleted. The wow is deleted. Okay, the wow is deleted. What remains? An, yad, okay, an yad. This ain remains and the dhamma remains, and this is the representative of the deleted vow, which shows yes, from here the vow has been deleted. Okay, from here the vow has been deleted. This dhamma is the representative of the deleted vow. Okay, now if I say lam yarmi, what happens when adatul jazm came? Yar me. Okay, this meme with kasra. What happens? This ya with a dot has been deleted, and this kasra is the representative of this deleted ya. It shows yes, the ya has been deleted from here. Okay, similarly, what happens with yansa? Yansa, the alif maksura has been deleted from here, and the fatha on the scene shows that yes, alif maksura has been deleted. Okay. I'rab al-taqdiri. What is taqdiri? The assumed harakas. Okay. تقدروا, how do we do? علامات الرفع في الفعل ناقص, how do we say? Okay, when we say يمشي الولد, okay, يمشي al-waladu. What happened? There is no adatun nasb or jazm, so it is in marfu case. So here, can we put a dhamma here? No. So in this case, we will say what? Fail mudare marfoon, marfoon wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dammatu al-muqaddaratu. Okay. علامة النصب في فعل ناقص مفتوح العين. مفتوح العين means the ain radical is having a fatha. The ain radical, just like here. Okay, the ain radical will have a fatha. We know that a scale in Arabic scale is fa, ain, and lam. So it is the middle radical which will have a fatha over it. Okay. Alamatu jazm fil fail al mudaf. Fail mudaf means those fail which has a double letter at the end with a shadda. Okay, so fa'alamatu jazmihi sukun muqaddara. In this case, it will be sukun muqaddara. Why? Because when we open it, this fail. Hujja. Now this is actually hajja. Okay, hajja. Okay, hajja. When we open this, it is hajj and ja. Hajj and ja. Okay. So when if we put adatul jazm lam, ha, jim, sukun, and jim, sukun. So we cannot pronounce with two sukoons. A verb with two sukoons we cannot pronounce. So in this case, what happens? These both jims, this jim, they are both jims. So what the scholars did, what they did, they overlapped these two jims. Okay. these two gems was overlapped, and we cannot pronounce those two letters with sukoon. So one gem they gave a sukoon, and the other gem they gave with fatha to pronounce. Okay, that's why it became uh, uh, lam a hujja. Okay, lam a hujja. Both gems have been overlapped, one with sukoon, one with fatha. That's why it became lam a hujja. Okay, hujja. That's why. And when you do the Arab, you do the Arab as sukoon muqaddara, because here the original jim had a sukoon. For pronunciation, they have given it like this. So when you do the Arab, you will say G with sukoon muqaddara, because originally it had a sukoon at the end. Okay. Ain morab min al mabni fi mayati. Dakhala, is it morab? No, because it is fail madi. Ijlis, it is command, it is mabni. Yazhab fail mudare, it is morab. Tafhamna, it's not morab, it's mabni because it is attached with nun niswa. Yakhrujuna, it is morab. Tashrabina, it is morab. Yaktubna, it is joined with nun niswa, it is mabni. Ma alamat al-i'rab al-asliya fi mudare? I'rab al-asliya in mudare is damma, fatha and sukoon. Alama i'rab far'iya fi afal khamsa. Afalul khamsa means those verbs which we just spoke about. Those verbs, all these five fail mudare are called afalul khamsa. What are the alamat? Subut noon wa hadf noon. Okay. In case of marfu, you will see a noon. In case of nasb and jar, you will delete the noon. Okay. Now, ma alama jazm al fariya fil fail naqis. In fail naqis, as we saw here, what happened? In case of marfu, there will be dhamma muqaddara. In case of nasb and jazm, it will be um, harf illa, hazf harf illa. Okay, removal of the weak letter. Hazf harf illa. Then ma alamatu rafil fail naqis. Alama rafil fail naqis will be dhamma muqaddara, just like in yamshi. There are no adat in before it, so it will be in normal position with the dhamma muqaddara over it. Ma alama an-nas fil fail naqis maftu' al-ain will be fatha. The ain radical will have a fatha. Okay. ما علامة الجزم في الفعل مضاعف علامة جزم في الفعل مضاعف is سكون مقدرة. I explained here why it is سكون, because originally when you break down this shadda letters, it will be two genes. It was hajja. When the datul alam came, it got a sukoon. So we cannot pronounce two letters with sukoon. So what the scholars did, they gave one jim sukoon, the other jim with fatha. So when they overlapped, it became a hujja. So originally it had a sukoon. So you will say in Arab a sukoon muqaddara. So Alhamdulillah, we finished this lesson 1. Any doubts, you may ask me, inshallah.